Okay, so we're doing a viewer feature, I think, today.
Cool.
I think that's what this is.
All right.
See
So
what we
this
got.
one says, "Hey Remy, my name Joey. I'm from Missouri. I'm a regular viewer of your channel when you're not shadow banned. LOL. Anywho, I started.
Yeah, that's most of the time.
I started this cover up in April over a large black tribal piece from 2008. I just got done with my second session yesterday. The seahorse in the middle is still healing from the April session and hasn't been touched up yet. Not quite healed. The fins, wings, and blue background is from the session yesterday. I just figured you might want to give it a look on your channel and tell me what you think so far, or rather what you think I should do going forward. Thanks, Remy. Have a good one, bro."
Yeah, but before we get to the tattoos, I'll just say, like, by the way, he probably won't see this episode because it's not clickbaity enough. Like, no offense to Buddy Boy's sleeve here, but like, because it's not clickbait, he himself probably won't see it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it has to get a certain amount of eyes, or else it gets no more eyes. So, like, for example, if I put a really, really goofy thumbnail on there, everyone will click it in the first few minutes, and then it'll show it to more people. So if this guy's a lapsed viewer of any kind, it most likely won't show up in his feed at all because it won't be in his feed first. And so whoever's feed it does show up in first, they basically make the decision for everyone. That's how algorithms work. I know all about algorithms because I've been in this for so long that if you don't have people in like the first few seconds, it communicates to YouTube, Instagram, TikTok that this is not worth watching.
Yeah.
And then it downranks it. And then you have people send you comment on a video like 6 months later and they're like, "Oh, I missed this one. I didn't know I was in here." It's like, you really do need to click on all of them.
Or like subscribe to the channel.
Listen.
and be a
Even notifications, they don't always work. But just because this guy didn't cut his nose off doesn't mean there might not be something worth watching in here.
right?
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And this is our own fault. Like, it's my fault too. Like, it's all people's fault that, like, we like clicky things. We like shock. But because of that, you're not going to see every video a creator puts up.
Yeah.
You're just not.
No.
So anyway, no, you know what? That's always been this channel. I'll go out of my way to try and educate people where I can.
Well, let's talk
So-
about this.
If this guy sees this, I kind of like it. I think that the face of that thing should have started on the back of his bicep.
Yeah, I think he's leaning in a little bit, but I still think that
Yeah,
they should
no,
have
you
pushed
can't
it back a bit.
You can't lean that much.
No, I think that they should have pushed the whole tattoo more to the back side of his arm a bit.
Oh yeah, well it looks like it's starting in the front. It's
Right.
like,
And no one wants a face like that in their armpit.
well, you know, the face is either on the inner bicep looking out or it's on the outer bicep looking in.
I know.
It's really very simple. So like, right away placement is off, and
Yeah.
that's a hard one. Like, I say it all the time on here, but like, if you have bad layout, it's very hard to do anything with it. And like, it's hard to tell what it is looking at it like this. I think it's a seahorse, right?
Yeah, he said it was a seahorse.
Yeah, no, but like, I'm saying without that description, right? From the outside looking at it, it looks kind of like a seahorse, but because you don't see the seahorse all at a glance, it's like, what is that? And then same when looking at the front of it, it's the same problem.
Yeah.
Kind of look, he's got like kind of like a beak and then a big tentacle.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's what he's got from the front.
I think this seahorse looks really rough. And I don't mean, like, it's colored in nicely. Like, I think this person can saturate really well, but the style of this seahorse looks rough.
It looks a little hammered in there.
Yeah, like it
And
just
no
like
grace
I
to this
remember.
guy.
I remember Lee telling me with some of my first tattoos, like, that looks rough, and when I look back at them, I'm like, yeah, okay, that does look rough. Like, I kind of can see now what he meant by that, and like, this looks rough. Like, this like black down here looks.
Yeah, it looks a little chewy.
It looks chewed up.
It looks a little chewy in the spots closest to the ditch, especially.
Right, and like, I don't know, just like the whole like presentation of this, like,
Well, this is fresh, right?
yeah, but
So does he have the healed one? Because his skin might be swollen and stuff too.
no healed ones.
Yeah. So
I
the thing is like everything looks good for like all colors will look like this fresh, because like right now there's some amount of color that's more on the skin than in the skin. So when you said it looks solid, it's like you can't really tell until it heals.
Right?
Because like sometimes badly put in color will look brighter than properly put in color.
And then like I don't know, like to me, like I don't know, this artist doesn't seem to be able to blend well, and it looks like they're like, it kind of looks like a cover up in this like fin area.
Well, it looks chalky.
Yeah.
Almost like crayon or something.
Like they just can't like blend. I don't know. I don't love this tattoo personally, but
generally speaking, like good artists, like artists that are good at tattooing to begin with, don't do bad placements.
yeah.
Right? Like if you see a bad placement, it's almost always a sign of bad things to come, because like a good tattooer will have a mind for composition. Because like those things aren't necessarily technical, but they are in a way. Like that's like, if you set up for success, you might have success, right? Like as I always say, if you have a bad layout, but the bones, or like if you have a bad layout, it's very hard to fix it. But if the thing is laid out properly, it's just technically bad.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well you can bring everything up to snuff. But like usually when you do see a bad layout, it usually accompanies bad technical too, from what I've seen.
That's what I think too.
So yeah, I don't love that thing. I think it could have been better. I would like to see how it healed. I don't think all those colors are going to be as bright as they appear now.
Right. And how do you think they should move forward? I guess find a different artist and continue ocean themed sleeve?
I think that the guy who did it could probably continue it, but I don't think it's ever going to be like amazing now. I think like I always say, layout is a tough one.
Yeah.
And I would say just try and observe what other tattooers are doing with layouts before you do any more of this, because you still have the forearm and stuff to work with, and you could still do something that would make it work.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can have one or two things go wrong in a sleeve and still kind of make it work.
And I think make sure you're pretty vocal with your artist about like how it's sitting on your arm.
Whatever your ideas are, they need to be in there in a way that, conveys the message correctly.
Right?
So.
All right. Sorry, yawning. This one says, "Hey Remy, started following you about a month ago and was shocked when I saw your work. Let me know what you think of this sleeve. I got it when I was 15, currently 30, haven't had it touched up in 15 years. Okay.
So this been 15 years, has he?
A 15-year-old tattoo.
Okay, well.
It's pretty
looks
faded.
Like, you know what? This looks way older than 15 years.
Yeah.
Like this doesn't look like it was done in 2009. And when I say 15 years, my inclination is to say like 2000 for some reason. Because for me,
like, because we're freaking old.
In my old mind, it's like 2015 was yesterday.
I think like to me, and I don't know, maybe people can confirm this in the comments, but I feel like time stopped in 2020.
I don't agree.
So when I think, no, I honestly,
I think
feel like
2016
for me, time stopped in 2020, and then like when I think 15 years ago, I think 2005.
No, I think like 2000. I think like when it was like Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Like that was like the moment of like we're in a cartoon.
I keep thinking, oh, it's 2024.
Like,
well, where did those last 4 years go?
It's more for me. It's been more the last 8 or 9 years that have been weird. Like really weird.
Remy married me and things got weird.
Yeah, something. So this sleeve looks way older than 15 years.
Yeah.
I love how they just kind of gave up on the elbow.
Right.
Like, let's do some fucking something.
Some squiggles.
And then they just walked away.
And then we're done.
Well, usually you do kind of gloss over the elbow, but this kind of reminds me of like some of the little skulls I had in one of my first sleeves.
And then like, what is this, Anubis? So it's like a death sleeve?
Sure.
Yeah.
Go with that.
Right.
Everything in here is far too small. Like, it's way too small. It's really wild.
And some like...
And my wrist just didn't happen.
Yeah.
This is like the guy who did my torso work the first time. I told you all those lines on the torso were lined out like 4 times.
Right.
They just kept thinning out. Yeah. Depth. Depth is a fucker. If you don't have it, this happens.
Yeah. So, like, this whole thing, everything's too small. It makes me really sad. It feels like it's all just background. Like, why do you have a whole sleeve of, like, smoky flames?
Well,
Like, you should have had, like, this big Anubis and, like, maybe a huge skull somewhere.
The thing is like the Anubis looks like part of the
Flames.
smoke.
Yeah.
Flame. Because, like, he has no difference. There's
Yeah.
nothing different
There
about
should be, like, some darker tones in here for sure. Like, I've seen worse sleeves, but I really don't like
this thing has a look. Like,
Yeah.
this looks like a sleeve. Like, when you look at it, you're like, oh, yeah, that's something. But like...
it does feel older. This feels like a 90s.
Yeah. Well, it has
tattoo
this
to me.
it has this whole vibe of like they had no idea where they were in the skin.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially you see it in the wrist and then again in the elbow. Like anywhere where it's even remotely complicated to saturate, there's just nothing there.
Yeah.
So it's like
And they just, like, I don't know, I feel like their washes are just too light.
well,
I don't
they
know.
might not have been though. When you're not in the right depth, it doesn't look as dark when it heals.
Yeah.
Right? That's like I said with you. Like you got depth right away, but not everybody does. Like there are people out there that have been tattooing for like 20 plus years that don't know depth. They can't get depth.
I really, really find that extremely confusing. But again, I got, depth pretty quickly. It's just... it
Some people
confuses
literally
me.
do this forever and never can saturate.
Yeah.
They never can. I've seen it. There are people in this city that are tattooing like this every day.
I know, I
and
see
half
them.
of their work is falling out,
And I'm like, how can
and
you...
they're blaming the
How
client's
can you not
aftercare.
saturate your colors? Why isn't your black saturated? Anyways,
It's just like just never figure out where the needle should
like
be.
to me, those are the easiest parts of tattooing. Is small spaces of saturation. I think large spaces of saturation are definitely trickier to get it smooth and stuff.
Well, it should be like, oh, this isn't working. I should change something.
Right.
Right. Like the minute you see that it's not going in, there should be like oh, I got to change.
Yeah.
something.
What do I adjust?
That doesn't happen. It's like whoever taught them, or if anyone taught them, it's like they did it that way too.
Yeah.
And it never looked good,
No.
and so it never will look good.
It's just craziness to me.
But this thing is in desperate need of some contrast. But again, like this will never be an amazing thing because it's been built poorly, like the structure of the house. It's like if you have one living room and like 9 bathrooms, and like your kitchen is the size of a walk-in closet.
Oh my goodness.
And then you have like you've got no windows, right? Like there's no light. Like it's just a poorly designed foundation.
Very
So
sad.
whatever you do, it's pretty well doomed. I think if you care, and like you can leave it, you can live with this. Like
Yeah.
this isn't worse.
It's not
but
the
if
most
you care,
horrible tattoo.
like I would just black this thing out. 'Cause this is an easy blackout too. There's like no ink in there.
Yeah, or like
There's like no ink in this sleeve.
you could potentially like a blast over, but I prefer the idea of
You
a
could do a full
blackout.
full color cover up over this too, because there's like no lime weight.
No,
There's,
I
like,
know.
no
It's,
hard
everything
black
is
anywhere.
so light. You could, I think,
Rick
like,
could just doodle penises all over this thing if he wanted to.
I think that like if you and see, like, I personally would redo this whole sleeve, not with this as the foundation, but I would get like a color artist to do a new
You just act like there's nothing
over
there.
top of it, and I would like maybe like continue this like maybe Egyptian theme or whatever going down. But like I think like someone could go over top of this so easy, and I think if you look for the right artist, you could get this same concept
Well,
but better. Like I don't
his-
want to poop all over your sleeve.
His blacks are about as dark as most people's grays.
Yeah.
So it's like there's not much ink in this sleeve.
No.
It's not the poop all over it. It's people send me these things and I'm going to give them like
Constructive feedback.
yeah, like this is an easy cover up.
Yeah.
No matter what you do. And it's a hard laser actually because
Like
believe it or
tones
not.
don't like to go away.
Well, no, but believe it or not, even when there's just a little bit of ink in something, it will come through. Like, so even though I'm saying there's almost no ink here, it's like that's sometimes the hardest thing to laser because the laser's less reactive to it.
Right.
So you're not
Yeah.
getting a lot of bang for your buck.
Ugh.
But yeah,